Good morning, you're watching Amuseaholics, and today we're at Warner Brothers Studio Tours, the making of Harry Potter.
Yeah, really excited.
Yeah, it's our first time here. We're both Harry Potter fans, but Caddy's a massive Harry Potter fan.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're not really sure what to expect actually, so we're looking forward to getting in and seeing all this attraction has to offer.
Yeah, really excited about it.
Oh, we're coming up on the entrance now. Looks like a huge place. A huge sign on the wall, and also some wizard chess figures here. We're a bit closer to the wizard chess pieces now. We've got the castle, the knight. And of course, we've also got the famous queen. Just past the first reception hall, you've got a cafe. Large screen and an awesome looking dragon prop in the main entrance hall. So you got the baddies on the one side and the goodies on the other side by the look of it. A bit further in on the right you've got the entrance to the studio tour. If you carry on straight, they've got a larger food area, food hall with lots of tables and chairs. Huge Marauders map up there as well. You go further into the food court, there is the making of Harry Potter afternoon tea. We've got a lovely floating candle display and a nicely made up area for afternoon tea. Just in the second part of the queue to get into the tour. They've got some scripts on the wall, also a bit of concept art from the film as well. We have a bit of the Dursley household over on this wall. Some of their family pictures. And of course we have the famous cupboard under the stairs where Harry started out.
Welcome to Hogwarts. Nice gentle push. There we go. Welcome everybody to the Great Hall. Give them a round of applause. That's it. Come on in, folks. Come all the way in. Thank you very much. Now, guys, welcome to the Great Hall, one of the first and largest sets ever to be constructed for the series, and today one of the spookiest. Now, I'd like all of you to come in as quickly as you can. Don't dawdle in the doorway. There's plenty of space. You can actually fit 450 cast and crew members in here, which apparently amounts to 22 double-decker buses, though please don't ask us how we found that out. Now, as you can see, we are ready and decorated for Halloween, and we are ready for your cameras. So if you haven't already, get out all your photography equipment and go Colin Creamy crazy. I will meet you in a few moments in front of the fireplace. And as you come on in, you'll probably note this appetizing feast right here. Doesn't it look absolutely scrumptious? However, this is not actually Robbie Coltrane's particular costume. Now Robbie, lovely Robbie, although he stood at a very respectable 6'2", was not quite large enough to play the character of Hagrid. So what did the team do? Simple. They called in ex-England rugby player, Mr. Martin Bayfield. He's an ex-England rugby player who stands at a whopping 6'10". They put him in the costume, they padded it out, they added stilts to his feet, and they even added over his head a talking animatronic Hagrid head. Now this was actually voiced off camera by Robbie and operated by the Creatures team. Now you will see that head later on in the Creatures workshop and get a better idea of how all of that works when you visit that section. And please get a good photograph of the head. It's a marvellous piece of Muggle machinery and you'll get a good sense of Hagrid as you look at it. Thank you very much.
So here we have the ghost costumes from Harry Potter. They're only on display especially because of the Dark Arts event. Normally these aren't here. We have the costumes for Hagrid, Severus Snape, Albus Dumbledore, Minerva McGonagall. Of course we've got Mad Eye as well. Part of the set from the U-Ball, along with some costumes from Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire. Madame Maxine costume. And the famous dress robes that Ron wore. We've got up here what looks like the prop they used to create the roof in the Great Hall. Some more of the costumes. A famous wall of notices that were put up at Hogwarts when Dolores Umbridge was High Inquisitor and Headmistress. And just to the right, we've got an example of one of the floating staircases that likes to move. And some of the paintings as well. Here we have a prop from the Goblet of Fire, where it fills up the prefect's bathroom. And here we have a giant cauldron, brought out especially for the Dark Arts event. You have Professor Lupin and the famous wardrobe containing the boggart. And of course, Snape's outfit when he was dressed as Neville's grandmother. Here we have part of the potions classroom set. The potion's begun to stir itself. It's quite a large set, and over on the other side, got one of the costumes worn by Professor Snape. There must be thousands and thousands of bottles making this scene. Here we have the Jack-in-the-Box boggart prop. Here we have the Hagrid's hut scene props, along with one of Hagrid's costumes as well. Here we can see some props from the game of Quidditch, including the Quidditch robes. Also the balls that were played with. The famous featured brooms. The Firebolt, Nimbus 2000 and the Nimbus 2001.
It's like a master.
We have the famous Triwizard Cup. The sign between Hogwarts and Hogsmeade. Pretty cool suit of armour.
Paul Harris, choreographer for Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix, brought to life the physicality of these striking characters by creating the art known as wand combat.
Here we are inside of Dumbledore's office, with one of his costumes as well. Fawkes the Phoenix in the background. The famous Griffin stairwell led to Dumbledore's office. And just to the right of that, the famous clock pendulum, which was in the exam hall during Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix. Here we have some of the common room sets. I believe this is the Slytherin common room. Here we have the Gryffindor dormitory.
That one.
5 4-poster beds and a stove in the middle to keep them warm. Here we have some of the vehicles and motion parts from the film. We've got the Gringotts Bolt car, and we've got Harry's motorcycle, and up at the back I believe that might be Mad Eye's broom. You see it's like a motion rig. and it's just painted over a green screen. Here we have the famous vault of the Chamber of Secrets. The door consisting of several snakes. A whomping willow. Hope the boys are okay in there. Here we have the Weasley household set. The pan washing itself. Chopping board. A knife for chopping the carrot by themselves. Some of the costumes used by the Weasleys as well. Here we have the vanishing cabinet. Some of the other dark relics from the Room of Requirement. Here we have a set piece where all the Death Eaters meet at the mansion. And you've got Nagini, a big snake. The professor floating over the table, fortunately about to get eaten. Snake's dinner. And here we have a couple of the fireplaces where you can travel by blue powder. And some of the costumes from the Ministers for Magic. This is when we have the new Minister for Magic. The architecture is really, really interesting. Here we've got the Magic is Might statue, showing the Muggles crushed under the weight and the power of magic. And just to the right of that, we've got Dolores Umbridge's office. All the shades of pink you can imagine.
Hi, I'm Paul Harris and I was the choreographer of the battle scenes in Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix. Along with the director David Yates, I created and developed the physical language for fighting with the wand known as wand combat. So now let's try move number 1. Start with your knees bent, body nice and straight. Bring the arm above the head with a clean curve. The wand aimed directly at the enemy. Bring the wand forward of the head and whip it back. Now let's see you try that.
Nice, everybody. Let's do it one more time together to make sure we're good. So, wands on the ready, and 1, 2, 3. Awesome, great. Let's go straight to the next one.
So now let's try move number 2. Turn your body to the left, bringing the right side through on a flat plane to the enemy. So now let's see you try it.
So from this one,
That's it.
whichever wand hand is your hand, if you're left-handed or right-handed, you will always have it from the back as your body's facing to the side towards the enemy. So from here, it is just bringing the back leg
forward, and then you switch the wand at the end. Okay, let's do that very quickly together. And 1, 2, 3. Lovely stuff. Let's go straight to move number 3.
And now let's try move number 3. Stay low, bring your left side across and your left arm to protect your center. Keep your eye on the target at all times. And now, let's see you try that.
So again, it's like from the first position in the second move, wand behind you, and then you're just stepping forward to bring the wand under the arm. Let's do that together very quickly. And 1, 2, 3. Great stuff. So, from here on out, in the film industry though, it is not as simple as just 1, 2, and 3. It would have been far more chaotic in doing combat when they're shooting. So, I'm going to be shouting out the numbers and we're going to mix it up with those. We need to match the numbers with the cast. So we'll do just a quick recap. One's at the ready, and number 1 is at the top here with the flick. Number 2 is stepping forward with a swish, and number 3 is coming round to bring the wand under the arm. So if I shout number 2, number 1, number 2, number 3, number 1, number 2, number 1, number 3, number 4. Nice one. No, number 4 I'm going to teach you now, but this one in the Wizarding world was written to be as like a charging spell used for emergencies only. So, body's facing straight directly towards the target, arms to the side, and we bring up our arms with our wand especially as we charge, and then wand pointed towards the opponent, and then you step forward. You're putting the pressure that you have just built up at the charge of the spell on your opponent. Okay, let's do that one more time together. Make sure we got that. 1, 2, 3. And step forward. Nice, everybody, awesome. So, we all now know number 1, number 2, number 3, and number 4. Are we good to fight some Death Eaters now? I think we're well equipped to do that. Are we good? Are we going to do this? Okay. And they're coming out. Now David Yates has called action. So, wands at the ready and cast away. Go. Number 1, number 2, and number 3. Keep going, everybody. Keep them on their toes and get them on the defense. Come on. That's it, everybody. Keep going, keep casting. Let's keep them on their toes, everybody. Come on, let's wear them down. Get them on the defense, everybody. Come on, come on, come on. That's it, everybody. Keep going, keep going. You're doing great. You're doing great. Okay, everybody, pick your favorite move, number 1, number 2, or number 3, but charge it towards them and hold it. And go! Hold it, hold it. Oh, we're wearing them thin, but I think we need to finish this off with the number 4, everybody, so come on. Charge those arms up the top with the number 4. Point the one towards them and charge. Hold it, hold it. And we got one down, the other one's getting weaker. Keep putting the pressure on him, come on, come on. And both Death Eaters are down.
As we enter the dark forest, you can see old Rubius Hagrid standing guard. We've got the special effects smoke out in the forest, and a centaur up on the hill. A little further in, we found our old friend Buckbeak, the hippogriff, taking a bow for me. That's very polite of him. It's an awesome animatronic. Looks so real. Further round in the dark forest, we seem to have come across a bit of a spider problem. Aragog must be near. Oh, we found Aragog. Platform 9 3/4, this way. And there it is, the Hogwarts Express. A bit closer to the Hogwarts Express. The scale of the locomotive is absolutely spectacular. I'm sure this is probably the real movie prop, but it is a lot more spectacular than even what you see at Universal Studios in Orlando, actually. Anything from the trolley? Some chocolate frogs. Some every flavour beans. So here we are on the Hogwarts Express. A number of different carriages. This is the normal carriage. Then we have a carriage from Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban. Here we have one from Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire. We have a carriage from the Order of the Phoenix. With some gummy snakes. Some Bertie Bott's every flavour beans. Carriage from the Half-Blood Prince. The invisibility cloak, ready for green screen there. First time Ron and Harry sat together on the Hogwarts Express. Bought all the sweets. The showcase with a variety of props in, including the famous Weasley products. So we've made it halfway around the tour and now we're at the Backlot Cafe. We've got a selection of burgers, hot dogs, salads, also loaded fries and sandwiches, as well as a children's menu with a few items on there, and of course butterbeer and butterbeer ice cream. So we've had a meal from the Backlot Cafe. We've got 3 butterbeers with souvenir tankards, kids classic hot dog and 2 chicken burger meals. So came to £49 altogether, so pretty expensive considering it's not a theme park as such. But we'll tuck in and let you know what we thought. So we're halfway around the Harry Potter tour.
Yeah, really good, isn't it, so far?
Yeah, really been enjoying it so far. Obviously, I didn't know what to expect really. The opening cinema part was okay.
It was interesting, yeah.
Wasn't spectacular, I guess, but it was interesting. Yeah, we had some sort of there was some talks by bands and some crew from the film and that sort of thing. Later on, you get some more talks as well, don't you, with some of the main actors as well. So it was interesting. Wasn't spectacular. It would have been quite cool to have like an exclusive scene or something like that, perhaps, just to add a little bit to it. But it was still quite interesting. And then you head out into sort of a more open studio area. They've got loads of different scenes and props from the movie. We saw the potions lab, didn't we? Yeah. Gryffindor common room.
Great Hall, all the pumpkins.
The Great Hall with loads of floating pumpkins, especially for the Dark Arts event that's going on at the moment.
And Halloween as well.
Yeah, to celebrate Halloween. Well, that's why I think the Dark Arts is on now, isn't it?
Yeah.
And we saw the Death Eaters. They came roaming through the set as well, didn't they?
Yeah.
And there was also a duel. A special dueling feature where
Forbidden Forest.
We had dueling, didn't we? And then after that, straight to the Forbidden Forest. And we got to the Backlot Cafe and we just had some food from there.
Yeah.
I think the word I'd use for it is expensive, really. I wouldn't say it's great value for money. It wasn't bad.
I did enjoy mine though.
Yeah, I mean,
nice.
I enjoyed it. I guess I was disappointed for a couple of reasons. One, I waited approximately 30 minutes to have my order taken. Then it was roughly 5 or 6 minutes to actually pick it up, although we did put a special order request in, to be fair, for that to remake a burger especially. But yeah, I just don't think the quality is better than sort of just fast food, if you like, but it doesn't really live up to the price point. So
butterbeer's nice.
Oh yeah, the butterbeer was nice though, and souvenir cups are really cool as well, aren't they?
Yeah.
We've got souvenir tankers, haven't we? Yeah, so yeah, they're nice. So we did enjoy that, and obviously the price did include the souvenir tankers. We had 3 butterbeers and 3 souvenir tankards, so you could have took about £10 roughly off the bill if you hadn't had the souvenir tankards, so there is that to consider as well. But what I would say, I didn't feel like it was great value for money. I wasn't completely disappointed, and we did have a nice lunch, didn't we?
Yeah, it was nice.
And the Backlot Cafe does overlook some more of the set pieces, like the Weasley's home that we're standing in front of now, so it does give you quite a nice view as well, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's really cool.
Yeah, so we're going to carry on looking around this outside section and then continue the indoor part of the tour.
Yeah.
You may have just seen in the background, but there's a slightly better look at the Weasley household. Very cool design, how it's just kind of stacked on top of each other. They've obviously sort of started with a normal house, and as their family's grown, they've had to build it up to accommodate all the extra kids. Here we are at number 4 Privet Drive. Harry Potter's house when he was younger. We have the living room scene where all the mail arrives, inviting Harry to Hogwarts for the first time. Go on then, firm grip and pull. Hey! Get a firm grip. Oh dear, he doesn't like that. Inside Professor Sprout's greenhouse, there's quite a few mandrakes, as per the scene from the first year. And then we have Neville and Professor Sprout herself, the costumes at least. Here we have the night bus to all destinations, but no underwater destinations. Triple decker purple bus, looking pretty awesome. We're on the famous Hogwarts Bridge. Quite uneven flooring. are in the creature workshop, where they created some of the stranger creatures from the Harry Potter series. Got more creatures from the creature workshop, the werewolf and goblin effects. Also the feathers Quirrell head. And the Monster Book of Monsters. Here we've got some of the animatronics. We've got Hedwig. And then we've also got Voldemort before he reincarnated in the graveyard. So there's the remote control Hagrid's head. And a number of other bits and pieces to create some of the creatures in the Harry Potter films. The Monster Book of Monsters. I've broken down here so you can see the parts inside. And also the mandrakes. And here we've got the head of the Hungarian horntail. There's the Dobby animatronic. Got the Thestral and the baby Thestral down below. There's Aragog hanging from the ceiling. We've also got the basilisk head from the Chamber of Secrets. And then the model of the Hungarian horntail, the whole thing. Of course, who could forget Buckbeak, the hippogriff. And here we have a selection of the goblin masks, the goblins of Gringotts. It's actually quite impressive how much difference there is between each one. Although they really were unique individuals. Some more of the creatures here. We've got Professor Phileas Flitwick, the Goblin Bank Teller. And then we've got Flitwick in the later films, and also Griphook, who showed Harry to his first vault, and was also featured in the Deathly Hallows. Here's some of the set models made from white card, which they'd make before making the real sets, just to make sure they didn't need to make any changes. Let's just give them a chance to sort of see how it would all look and come together before making the real thing. We have a set model at the entrance to Gringotts Bank. So here we are in the Gringotts Bank set. And the level of details is absolutely astonishing. This set reminds me of the Great Hall in the sense that it's absolutely huge and really, really convincing. There's one of the many goblins conducting their banking affairs. Can I make a withdrawal, please, sir? Here's a vault cart from the Labyrinth of Gringotts, the vaults below. You can see all the locks moving in the vault door. Here we have the Bellatrix Lestrange vault, where Harry and his friends retrieve the Horcrux. It has the cursed multiplying treasure.
All of these through the steps so that you could go up in stage.
So we've made it into Diagon Alley. We've just come out of the Gringotts Bank. There's lots and lots to see and do in here. Obviously it's all just props, but it is very interesting. Yeah, Ollivander's One Shop. And of course the Weasleys shop as well. Tricks and treats. A collection of Death Eater masks brought out for the Dark Arts event. Absolutely stunning model of the Hogwarts castle, which is probably used in a lot of the scenes showing the outside. I can't even imagine how many hours it must have taken to build. Really is special. Here's over on the other side of the model. All the elements you couldn't see before. See over there the bridge leading to the forest. On the other side of Hogwarts. This model took them over 40 days for the whole team to assemble. A month and a half work nearly, just on this one model. So we just finished our quest through the making of Harry Potter.
Yeah.
Yeah, really interesting. The second half was good as well, actually.
Yeah.
After we finished the outdoor bit. Went into Gringotts Bank, didn't we?
Yeah, really, it's just amazing, really.
I think that was actually my favourite set. I did like the Great Hall. Obviously the Great Hall's iconic and is in every film, but just something special about Gringotts Bank, the level of detail and the luxury of it. It's just pretty incredible, really. And they had some goblins in there as well, didn't they?
Yeah.
Not real life goblins, but yeah, still really interesting.
Yeah.
So we enjoyed all that, and then we went through to the art department, didn't we? And saw a lot of the artwork that they created and that sort of thing.
The animatronics and that was interesting.
Yeah, how they put together the monster book of monsters and that sort of thing. And obviously Hedwig for some of the scenes was also animatronic and that sort of thing as well. And yeah, even Hagrid's head was animatronic. We didn't even know that.
Yeah, exactly.
There's an insider secret for you for the Harry Potter films. Apparently wasn't quite tall enough, was he? So they went ahead and sort of got somebody who was even taller, put an animatronic head on, and then did voiceover, didn't they?
Yeah.
Robert Coltrane. So yeah, really, really good experience. And then we ended up in the gift shop, didn't we?
Yeah.
And couldn't leave without getting ourselves a wand, could we?
Yeah, got me a wand.
Yes, a special limited edition
It's
Phoenix
expensive
one.
though.
It is expensive for the wands, yeah. They're £32 for the character ones at time of recording. I think it was £33 for the exclusive designs.
Yeah, 33.
And there was a Fawkes Phoenix one in the shape of Fawkes, and that was an exclusive one that we went ahead and got.
Yeah,
So,
that's all I got.
but yeah, really, really good experience. I mean, it's one of those really. It didn't feel like it was that long, but actually we've been in there, what, over 6 hours?
Yeah, a long time.
Yeah, I was expecting sort of 2 or 3 hours, and so yeah. It's worth bearing in mind though, when you do come, things are expensive. Things in the shop are expensive, the food and drinks expensive. Extra photos and things like that are also pretty expensive. I mean, we went, for example, when there's a broom riding part which we couldn't show because you're not allowed to film there. But you sort of have a ride on a broom, and you get to take a video with a green screen, and it's actually you riding on a broom, which is really cool. However, it's £20 at time of recording to buy the video outright, or you can have a digital photo package for £40, which is all your photos and your video for one person, and £20 at time of recording again, obviously, to add on an extra person. So for 3 of us it was £80, which is quite a lot. And I think the thing that really disappointed me about it was not so much that price, the fact that there was another photo experience later on the train. The Hogwarts Express, there were some carriageways, but that was completely separate. So you'd have to pay the same again if you wanted to do that, and that to me just seems a bit steep.
Yeah.
So, well, it's a great experience, especially recommend it to anyone who loves Harry Potter. If you hadn't already done it, then you've got to get down here, but by all means, be prepared to spend some money, because it isn't the cheapest place in the world, is it?
Yeah, I mean, you can also bring a packed lunch as well, so if you didn't want to eat in the calf, because the calf line was quite long, wasn't it? So yeah, you could bring a packed lunch. And
that's what we'd recommend, I think. If we did it again, I think that's what we would do. So, but yeah, all round a good experience. So yeah. So if you enjoyed this video, please remember to like and subscribe. It means a lot to us. And yeah, until next time, we hope you get out and explore amusement parks and more. See you next time.